All right, let's talk about how to write copy without doing any market research. And now we're getting into our actual ethically lazy research hierarchy, which I showed you earlier. Remember, it looks like this with those 5 stages. And the one I'm talking about right now is step 1, survey the client. Oh, wait, that sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? I got good news for you. You already did this part. Woohoo! It's built into this system, right? If you start with a client survey the way I told you to do it, you get back your answers. In some cases, that literally may be all you have to do. I have done jobs where that was all I had to do. Okay, but let me give you a more thorough checklist of when you can stop here. And I'm going to do this for each of those 5 stages to make this really easy for you. So you can stop here at the client survey when you're already making less than you want for this job, okay? Then there is no point going further. If that's the case, you're probably at a very early stage in your career. And at that point, it's all right to be just relying on what your client says because you're not really working with super sophisticated clients. If it's a simple homepage or short ad or flyer, you probably don't need to dive in. Just talking to the client is enough. If it's just a one-off, one and done, short piece of copy, this is generally enough. Okay, if your client is unsophisticated and will not appreciate good copy, now, in some cases, like when you're starting out, you may actually choose to work with people like this. I would not recommend it as a long-term strategy, but hey, maybe you need to. If that's the case, then just go with, this survey and don't bother going too far because they're not going to appreciate good copy anyway. So just go with what you got from your survey. On the other hand, maybe your client is very sophisticated and has provided you with excellent research. And ironically, that also means you can stop here. If they have a ton of great stuff and you don't have to go looking for it yourself, that might be enough. Okay, you might be able to stop here. To put a dollar value on this, I would say roughly projects up to $100 or 1 hour of your time. I mean, if there is such a thing, really. That's there are a few jobs that you can really do in less than an hour of your time, but just using that as a rule of thumb. Okay, if it's less than that, then definitely do not do any more research, okay? And finally, it may be that you already know the market in part or deeply, in which case you don't need to go any further than knowing what your client wants. And now here's a bonus about this first stage. Writing only from the client's research is going to increase the chances that they like it, right? So the good news, if you are working with one of those less than desirable clients and you're early in your career, if you just go with what they've told you, they're going to be like, oh yeah, this copy looks great. Yeah, that's right, because I just used your survey answers to do it. But what the hey, we're playing the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Okay, so if you meet any of those criteria, you can stop here. Otherwise, let us move on.